Hello, this is Serrano Keith Ballew from Texas Justice Review. Here's some of the things that we're working on. We are starting a new magazine. Not going to tell you what the name is yet. And we are gearing up for the judicial elections. That's when the judges come up and they try to get their seats back, or new lawyers want to be judges. We've got a couple of primaries, Democratic primaries in Dallas. I know Judge Purdy is going after a Democrat primary in the appeals court. And I know a lawyer by the name of Jensen, I think. She's going up against Judge Gina Slider. And the first criminal court of court, I know they've got a challenger. And family court judge, Steely, I think. She's got a challenger. So a lot of Democrats are now challenging Democrats. So I think we're going to have a lot of primaries going on. The group to watch, I labeled them this. They're called the Texas Justice Blue JD Group. I didn't know what else to call them. A clan, a group, the what. So I said JD. If you were a judge, you know who JD is. But I just wanted to identify this group, so I used the initials JD, and everybody knows who that person is if you're a judge, because that's how the group is formed. So I'm going to call them the Texas Justice Blue JD Group. They're going to be putting out a lot of candidates to go after independents, and that's why they're going after Gina Slater. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for laws that the sitting judges did not follow and cause damages to people, and laws they did follow, and they did defend the rights of people. But judges are supposed to execute the law, not put people above the law and let them escape their crime. They're not supposed to play politics. So I like you more than you, or you piss me off more than they didn't piss me off. And that's kind of like where the judicial election is going. So between November and December 8th is when you're going to see all the filings. March next year is when the primary comes up with all the Democrats and Republicans. And this November next year is when the real election comes, when you get the Republicans going against the Democrats. And that's how this is lining up. Personally, here are some things that's going on. My case with Councilwoman Kathy Stewart, Judge Tolboski, Emily, she's put it off till next year, March. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. That's why it's called an expedited case. So we're looking at appeals. We're looking at taking these judges to appeals. Just taking them. And the other Gina case, Kathy Stewart case, went back to Judge Purdy, which is interesting because the appeals court, strangely, 3 judges this time ruled that Judge Purdy has to now execute this case, which is great news for me and great news for the community that wants to see a minority in that position and get rid of the racism that's going on in District 10. So that's a good thing. But interesting to see that Judge Emily Tolboski taking the case and running it a whole year. An election case is supposed to be done within 50 days. So a lot of things going on in the court that is not supposed to be going on. That's why we're here to explain that. Some of the other cases is the one where they were trying to arrest me, Michael Snipes. Now this guy is not voted into Dallas. He's an old white guy from the southern days, Jim Crow, and he sees a minority, and you just don't win in courts like that. He's not elected. Dallas elects their judges. He was snuck in from the back door so he can fill a quota with his money from the Republican Chief Judge Ray Wheelers. See, when it comes to corruption, when it comes to denying people their rights, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. I care that you violated somebody's due process. You took away their rights. You oppressed them. You did not give them the freedom that they were entitled to. And that's the judges that go after. So I'm going to post the event, the Texas Justice Blue event, JD group. I have the last week has just been emotional for me and stressful because they were coming after my house. They were trying to steal all my money. Judge Michael Snipes, the criminal court judge that my wife has on her side. The lawyer is a lawyer by the name. We're going to set an example with this woman. I don't care what if we have to go to appeal. Veronica G. Warner, or Victoria G. Warner. Look up that lady. She's the first lawyer that's going to trial. Actually, she's in default. And the court has to rule that lawyers cannot break the law. And if you sue them, they have to respect that they broke the law. And we got a new set of lawyers that's doing the same thing. So we want to establish, does the law work for new lawyers and pro se people? Is it politics before law? Is it friendship before law? Is it political parties before law? All those things we're going to examine. So all my cases are on hold. We're heading downtown today to file with the bankruptcy judge. Let me tell you about this bankruptcy. He's another old white guy, and I have a feeling he spoke to Judge Michael Snipes. Trust me, I know when they speak to each other. I know the rulings. So here's what he did. Judge Michael Snipes was ordering me out of my house, hid $800,000 so that I would have no access to it and buy up my own house. They were trying to just railroad me and just tie me up in the court with the legal system and beat me down and strip me of all my rights. Now, you got the wrong Christian. I'm just telling you that right now. So anyway, every trick that they tried illegal, I was able to use the law to come back and combat them. But that glory was given to Christ because I had know what to do. I just asked him, what's your next move? What's your next move? I'm your Gideon. What's your next move? And all of a sudden I get these insights, these spiritual insights. Do this, file that. File with Judge Stacey Williams. File with Judge Gina Slaughter. File an appeal. File a bankruptcy. The Lord has been directing me. This is a divine judgment on a corrupt system. And that's why we're doing the newspaper. That's why we're going to get into this election hard this year. Also looking at the appeals court. I'm going to tell you something about the appeals court. I'm going to play an audio for you. In this audio, you have a clerk of the appeals court admitting that she's the one that's ruling on the case. I called her and I said, where is my emergency motion I did 10 days ago? She said, yeah, I was just about to dismiss that. I said, wait a second. You were about to dismiss it? When are you making decisions? So the clerk is making decisions. Then it comes to find out I did another recording on her. And I said, how is it Justice Tina Clinton getting all my case? When it's supposed to be a 3-panel judge is supposed to get my case? And I asked her, did this go to a 3-panel judge? No. I said, well, how is Tina Clinton getting all my cases? Who is strategically passing it on to her? Remember, I did a motion to recuse her before this nonsense was happening because I knew she was connected to Michael Snipes and she was helping them. So the clerk is funneling the case to Tina Clinton so she can dismiss it and help Michael Snipes down there in the Democratic Party in family court. And I have this on a recording. I said, did any one of the 3-judge panel get my case? No, sir, that's not how this works. How it works is you have to file this and do your brief and everything else, and then the 3-judge panel gets your case. Well, then how is my case going to Tina Clinton for her to dismiss all my motions to block violating the appeal when they have lost plenary powers to continue doing the case when there's an appeal? Somebody was passing it on to Tina Clinton, and we got that on audio, and I'm going to play that for you. So there's corruption in the appeals court, and I'm going to talk to JJ. I'm going to write him a letter, and I'm going to get him to do an investigation. Hey, this guy wanted to be, right? He wanted to be the chief judge. Let's see how well you do your job managing the appeals court when there's corruption. I'm going to tell him that. So right now we're going to file an appeal because these judges are playing games with me, and I'm learning well. And then we're going to bankruptcy court and ask that judge who's been sitting on my cases for more than a month and hasn't sent it back since the trustee on July 29th says there's no value in these cases since July 29th. So I filed a motion twice to send my cases back if there's no value. When my ex and her corrupt attorneys filed a motion to send the house back so they can manipulate it and kick me out and take it, he did that in 3 days. In 3 days. They filed it on Thursday. They served it on me through regular mail so I wouldn't get it. Then I got it on Monday. And I was like, wait a second. The hearing is tomorrow morning. I filed for an extension. This white judge denying my extension is supposed to get 3 days to respond, right? That's the law. Didn't want to give it to me. Then in 3 days, he just sent the case back. I'm just sending it back. I said, Your Honor, under the bankruptcy code, you cannot send the case back just because they want to get a judgment on it or get relief on it or sell it to pay off a debt. You can't do that. He didn't care. He didn't follow the law. They're not following the law. Nobody's following the law. This is the law. So you be the judge. If the law says this, why are you sending it back? You be the judge. You tell me why you're sending it back. And then held back all my civil cases that has the house in it. The case before Gina Slaughter has the house in it. I won that by default. The case before Stacey Williams has the house in it. I won it by default. So how is it they're doing all these manipulation, motion to have me arrested and put in jail for 6 months if I don't leave my house? And oh, by the way, I spoke to the constables and they told me we're not going to do that. They contacted us and we're not going to. This is a civil matter. And I sent them the order from Judge Stacey Williams and they saw that. They respected that more than anything else. You can't arrest this guy. There was an order. You're not supposed to do this. And they did it. So that's what's happening. So we're going to go down, file bankruptcy to release all my cases. And then we're going to go do an appeal. And then tomorrow we're going to deal with JJ in the appeals court and his corruption because he knows or should know. And when he knows, we're going to find out. You beat this woman out because you were so huff and tough to be the chief of the appeals court. I'm going to show you the corruption and I have it on tape. Well, they're telling me no 3-panel judges heard my case when Tina Clinton got it. And she just ruled on it and just keeps dismissing it and helping Michael Snipes. But we're going after Denise Garcia. Denise Garcia and Tina Clinton, they're like this. So we get rid of her. She doesn't have a partner on the appeals court. So they can, because 2 of them were ganging up on me. And I think, I don't know why they do that. I think they just wanted to help this veteran judge, Michael Snipes, who has a history of calling people up to helping and throw cases. And I have all that in evidence. So that's what we're working on today. All these cases are coming together, including that now I'm doing a magazine, Texas Justice Review News. We're going to be interviewing judges. So the judges that are running, we're going to interview them, and then we're going to get their side, and we're going to put our own take, how we feel about these judges. So let's just say we interview Gina Slaughter, right? And we're going to ask her like 5 questions. She's going to answer the questions, 400 words or less. And then we're going to review her past. We're going to review any complaints against her. We're going to review any kind of litigants that was before her, whether or not she deprived them of a right and cheated them of justice. Look, I'm going to tell you this. The justice seat that they sit on, in the beginning when God created man, he created these justice seat. And you had to be wholly divine to sit on the seat, from Moses to Joshua to David to the kind of people that sat on these sacred seats are righteous people. But today we have wicked judges, people that became judges, and they execute wickedness. And the Bible said it's an abomination for a king or judge or ruler to sit in these seats and do wickedness. So we're going to execute some divine justice on these judges. Because when God calls you in a position like this, because there's nobody else in this position, you have to go after divine justice and find all the judges. And God helps you. You're not alone. God helps you find the right people, the right funding to go after these people. And I'm trained. I'm skilled in media, going after Go see how they beat me up and they try to put me in jail. It's not the first time they try to put me in jail. And they can't, because it's divine protection, divine justice. And my ex, who's signing off all this nonsense, claiming I did nothing to her but the wickedness for lust and money and wealth and wanted to be a Hollywood wife. The judges are supposed to look at that and say, look, I don't care what you want. You can't be ripping this guy off. Half of this thing is his. You can't hide $800,000 and want to put him in the street and in jail and take $90,000 from the house. That's all he's got. Divine justice is coming for Michael Snipes. It is coming for every judge that touched my case, lied, deceived, manipulated, didn't follow the law. How is it, and I'm going to close with this, how is it they had a fake court order from a judge who was not qualified to be in family court and was not legally put back on the case when I had him recused, right? He's not ruling in family law, he's ruling in criminal law. How is it all the other judges are looking at how he's breaking the law and they are not executing judgment when it comes before them, citing, I don't care what that judge did. Before me is a plaintiff, this guy, and he was abused. His rights were stripped away from him. Due process was not him. They defrauded him. They violated his civil, God-given rights. And this is before me. And I, for one, are going to protect those rights. And any judge, and I've been before 7, any judge that did not give me that, so help me Lord, when this election comes along, you're going to know about it. You're going to know how they did not follow the law. They just sit there with personal stuff and nice stuff and, political stuff. We're doing all of that. We're going after them. Sink or swim, live or die, I'm going after them. Because I am highly trained in politics and corruption. And I know how to deal with this. I have taken the beating. I have taken the threats. I have taken the targeting on my advertisers. I've taken targeting on my life. I've taken targeting and constantly trying to put me in jail. And judges lying and making false orders against me to stop me from reporting this to other judges and filing complaints against them. But God has taught me how to get around these things, and I keep asking him, what I don't know, Lord, what's your next move here? What's your next move? And he'll tell me. This is Serrano.